Greetings everyone. Just a quick video before I head off to work today. Boy, it seems that as soon as I said, hey guys, appreciate the news stories, but can you confine them to the Facebook page and not put them in the comments unless it's relevant to the video. Plus I already know a lot of this stuff, I just haven't got around to announcing it or didn't feel like doing a video about it or whatever. No sooner did I say all that, then a whole bunch of you posted a bunch of news items in the comments for that exact video. Okay, I'll do a news video. I don't normally do news videos simply because it's because of my current video making process. It's difficult to stay current with current news items. Plus, I don't really want the Multimedia Chronicles to be quite so topical, you know. You may have noticed, those of you who've been viewers for a long time, way back in, I think, late 2009, I stopped putting dates in the titles for the videos because I wanted them to be timeless, as it were. Just kind of like, any time somebody wanted information about a particular release that I was reviewing or talking about, they could call up that video and it would be current relevant information because it's not about future or whatever releases, it's just about whatever releases were out at the time, and you know what I mean. Like, I just don't want it to be all topical and stuff, because the problem with topical stuff is it's outdated after a few days. So this will be a very rare topical video. So this time around we're going to talk about some upcoming cartoon releases. Yes, there's still a few 80s cartoons that have been kind of lingering and people have been wondering, will they ever get releases? Well, a bunch of them are getting releases, and that's what we're going to talk about today on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back. Okay, so I just wanted to say, in regards to news items, a lot of you have been posting news and sending me private messages and stuff about Shout Factory releases. Shout Factory is the one company you can always rest assured that whatever they're releasing, I know about it. Yeah, if you actually go to the Shout Factory site and go to their animation message forum, you'll notice that I post there quite frequently, and they consider me kind of a, you know, good friend of Shout Factory. So I'm definitely up to speed on Shout Factory releases. The other site I visit on a regular basis is tvshowsondvd.com, which is a wonderful resource for upcoming TV show releases of all kinds. So yeah, basically if it's any kind of upcoming TV show or cartoon release, or especially if it's a Shout Factory or now Mill Creek release, chances are I know about it already. So I appreciate the effort, but honestly, you're preaching to the choir here. So, okay, that said, let's get some news items out of the way. Okay, so going in alphabetical order. Now, of course, there is the new Conan movie coming out very shortly, and we actually just got really nice Blu-ray releases of the old Arnold Schwarzenegger Conan movies as well. So check those out if you're fans of those. I'm definitely going to be picking those up. I haven't seen the old Arnold Schwarzenegger movies in ages, and given that recently I've been, remember that collection of Conan stories I picked up recently, the original Robert E. Howard stories? I've been reading those on the bus to and from you know, out of town where I go to visit Rosie, and just great stuff, really good. I've really become a late to the party fan of Conan. And yeah, so over the next little while, I'm probably going to be picking up a lot of Conan stuff, because Conan rocks. One of the things I'll be picking up is this. Yes, Conan the Adventurer, Season 1. This is being released today, actually, July 26th, 2011. So, yeah. Shout Factory is putting out the first season of Conan the Adventurer, the early 90s animated series. Now, those of you expecting some like dark and gritty, blood and guts, naked babes, heavy metal style adaptation of Conan, yeah, you're probably going to be disappointed. This is basically a Saturday morning adaptation of Conan. Now, that said, I thought it was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. There is a pretty decent continuity throughout the series, and and it really captures the sort of fantasy adventure thing. He meets a lot of other characters along the way who join his party, and then they take off to do their own thing for a while, and they get back together. There's just a lot of cool kind of fantasy adventure type stuff going on. So if you don't mind the fact that it's seriously toned down from the old stories and the old movies, and just a good old-fashioned fantasy adventure animated series, check it out. Plus, it's one of the last shows that Sunbow worked on, actually. So if you're a Sunbow fan like me, definitely worth checking out. And it was just announced the other day on TVShowsOnDVD.com. One of their readers sent in some information he got from a catalog that was included with the DVD set he bought. And it included future release dates for a whole bunch of stuff. According to that catalog, Conan Season 2, Part 1, because Season 2 was 52 episodes, is coming out on November 22nd. So fingers crossed, everybody buy the first season set, because if it doesn't sell well, obviously that Season 2 release might get canceled. So it's still up in the air. So if you're a fan of Conan and you want to support the show, buy the releases. Now, that said, there's another show coming out, another Sunbow production. This is what I call the last of the big three. The big three Sunbow shows, of course, being Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Jem. Yes, Jem, truly outrageous. So Rhino started releasing Jem a few years back when they had the Sunbow licenses, but they never finished it. They waited too long to start putting out releases of it, and they stopped halfway through the third season, which, you know, they just needed one more set to finish it up. They did the same thing with G.I. Joe. They waited too long to start releasing it, and they ended up stopping halfway through the second season of G.I. Joe. So both Jem and G.I. Joe were left hanging. And might I add, Humanoids was also left hanging. They really cheaped out on Humanoids. They should have released it as one single 2-disc set. Instead, they did it as 3 volumes, but they never released the third volume. Bastards. Anyway, Jem is getting a complete series release. Now you may say, well, why isn't Conan getting a complete series release? Well, it's simple. Jem is a bigger show, so they can justify putting out a complete series release right off the bat because they know people will buy it. With something like Conan, which, as popular as the character is, the show itself was not as popular. It's a bit more of a gamble, so they're doing it in individual sets. Now that said, with Jem, much like Transformers and G.I. Joe, you have options. If you don't want to plunk down for the complete series set right off the bat, you also have Volume 1, or Season 1, I guess. So this is essentially the first few discs from the complete series set comprising all of Season 1. So there you go. So presumably they'll be doing, much like they did with Transformers and G.I. Joe, releasing the individual season sets over the course of time so you can collect it gradually. But I imagine, much like those sets also, the complete series set will contain extras that are only available in the complete series set and not available in the season sets. So, pretty cool. So we're finally getting Jem on DVD. Very cool indeed. I know a lot of guys who liked to watch Jem, even though it was kind of for girls. I think that's just a credit to Sunbow. You know, Sunbow makes entertaining shows that guys and girls can enjoy, even when they're based on a line of girls' toys. So, I liked Jem. I'm going to pick it up, so I'm not ashamed to say that. Now, speaking of boys' toys, there's another big set that people have been waiting a long time to get, namely M.A.S.K, Mobile Armored Strike Command. Yes, we're finally getting a Region 1 release of M.A.S.K. Now, one thing I need to mention about this, has been a bit of a bone of contention among fans. It says the complete series. Now, to specify, it's the complete 65-episode series. So the original 1-season, 65-episode, Monday through Friday series. That's what's in there, okay? Some people have been wondering, well, what about the 10-episode racing series which followed it a couple years later? No, that is not included. Why is it not included? Well, I think it's simply a matter of the 65-episode series is the one that everybody remembers and everybody grew up with, and not as many people are familiar with the racing series. So essentially, if this does well, we'll likely see the racing series appear as its own, you know, 2-disc set or 1-disc set or whatever down the line. So don't worry about it. I'm sure we'll get the racing set at some point. But for now, you can have the complete 65-episode series in one fell swoop. And, like Jem, because M.A.S.K is such a huge, popular show, it's sort of like the one big popular one from the 80s that hasn't had a release, like a proper release yet. We also have Volume 1, which contains the first few discs from the complete series set. So again, you have options. So you can just plunk down for the complete series and likely get a bunch of exclusive extras that you can't get in the individual sets, or if you're on more of a budget, or just want, you know, one season to have sort of as a representation of the series and don't really care about the complete series, then you can just get the Volume 1 collection. Then we have one that I think we thought was never going to come because we thought that everybody had lost their licenses to Nickelodeon. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Season 9. This is, of course, from the original 1987 to 96 series. Yes, we're finally getting Season 9. This is, again, from Lionsgate. So apparently Lionsgate didn't lose their license, or maybe they renegotiated with Nickelodeon. I don't know what the sort of backstory of that is. But who cares? We're getting Season 9. So all that remains now of the original Ninja Turtles to appear on DVD is the 3 lost episodes, which you can find on the old Family Home Entertainment VHS releases if you hunt around, by the way. And, of course, the final season, Season 10. I should mention 4 episodes from Season 10 are actually on the original Volume 1 set that Lionsgate put out. I guess because they didn't know how well this was going to do, so they just threw some bonus episodes on there. So we already have about half of Season 10 on DVD, courtesy of the Volume 1 set, so if we get left hanging, at least we won't be totally left hanging. But it would be really nice to get Season 10 in a proper release, simply because it's essentially a season-long story arc that provides a proper final conclusion to the 80s Ninja Turtle series, so that's pretty cool. It's basically a massive, you know, I forget how many episodes, it's like 8 or 10 episodes, but the whole thing is one massive serialized storyline, so that wraps everything up, so that's pretty cool. So anyway, Season 9 finally coming out. I still need to get Season 7 and 8. Yeah, so I'm probably going to get all 3 of them around the same time. And that's coming out August 16th. I'm sorry I forgot to give you the release dates for Jem and M.A.S.K, didn't I? So, okay, Jem, the complete series and Season 1 is coming out October 11th of this year, so you got some time to save your pennies. M.A.S.K, the complete series and Volume 1, you have a little bit less time because it's coming out August 9th. Pretty cool. And Ninja Turtles Season 9 is coming out August 16th, so a couple of good releases in August there. Then, you may have seen this on the shelf recently. Transformers Headmasters. That's right, Shout Factory is releasing the complete 80s Japanese collection of Transformers, namely Headmasters, Master Force, and Victory. At the moment, Headmasters is the only one that's available. It was going to be accompanied by the same time by the complete Japanese collection, which would have all 3 series in it, but for some reason the complete Japanese collection got pushed back. As I recall, it was some kind of quality issue. They either found better quality prints, or they wanted to tweak the subtitles, or there was some kind of quality related issue, which I'm okay with. You know, if it just means we're going to get a better product in the end, hey, that's fine. You know, it hasn't been canceled or anything, it's just been delayed slightly while they work out whatever issues they were having. So that's pretty cool. So again, thanks to that reader at tvshowsondvd.com who sent in the catalog scans, we actually have a release date for Master Force and the complete Japanese collection. So it looks like both of those will be coming out on the same day, on December 6th. The thing I find interesting about this is that they're actually selling Headmasters in stores. I've seen this in Walmart and Best Buy and stuff. So I was kind of under the impression that this was more of a niche series of Transformers, and that if it was going to be available at all, it would be available only as a Shout Select title or online or something like that. But no, apparently, you know, they just decided to throw it right into stores, I guess, to see how it does, and hopefully that means we'll get the other ones in the stores as well. I'm not sure about the complete Japanese collection. I think that one's just going to be an online exclusive for a while. But as you can see from the package here, if you have the recent re-release of the Transformers complete G1 series in the silver box, this will look quite nice beside it on the shelf. Because this is, of course, a direct continuation of the American G1 series. At least Headmasters is. I think it kind of goes off in its own direction from there. I haven't seen all of the Japanese shows. It's sort of like the one big gap in the Transformers lore. I'm mostly a G1 guy, so I've mostly only really seen G1 and bits and pieces of some of the spin-offs. Well, and Beast Wars, of course. I love Beast Wars. The other thing I should mention about the Shout Factory Japanese collection is it's a little bit different than the UK release that came out a few years back. The UK release contained an English audio track for Headmasters, which most people consider laughably bad, but at least it's nice to have an English audio track. The Shout Factory sets are strictly the original Japanese audio with English subtitles. Now, something I should mention about the subtitles as well. The subtitles, the various Transformer names, are their Americanized names, not the original Japanese names. I guess they did that to connect it up with the American series a little more cleanly. And, you know, fans are kind of divided on that. Some don't mind, and they think it's fine to give it some continuity there. Others are a little bit miffed that we don't have the original Japanese names instead. I think they just wanted sort of a verbatim translation of the original Japanese stuff. So, whatever. Judge for yourself. I'm just happy to finally be able to see these shows, and I will definitely be picking them up in the complete Japanese collection when that comes out on December 6th. So, lots of time to save our pennies for that one. Or if you just can't wait and you got to get your Japanese Transformers on, you can pick up Headmasters now at fine stores everywhere. Alrighty, so again, if you want the latest news before, yes, I'm not wearing socks. You really don't want to get a close look at my feet. They're kind of nasty. The price of walking to and from work every day. So again, yeah, if you want the latest news and such, kind of as it happens or as I find out about it, head on over to the Facebook fan page. That's what it's there for us to you know, share news items and give each other the scoop on stuff, and then I'll kind of wade through everything and figure out which ones I want to do videos about. But as I say, I mean, I'm not going to do that many news videos. Once in a while I will, when it's something that you know, kind of relates to videos I've done in the past. Like, for example, when I announced Cops and Jason the Wheeled Warriors being completed on DVD, that was big news because a lot of you had, you know, enjoyed the videos that I'd done about the previous releases and such, and it tied directly into those. I have been meaning to do something about the Ninja Turtles releases for ages, and obviously I wanted to mention Transformers. And okay, I guess I actually wanted to mention everything on this list. I just haven't got around to it, so I'm sorry. Yeah, well, as you probably noticed, I mean, there was a long stretch recently where I wasn't doing any videos, and that's ideally where I should have done these little news stories, but yeah, anyway, anytime I have something that I feel is of interest, I guess I'll do like a little encapsulated news thing like this. I should mention also there's a few sitcom releases being put out by M.A.S.K that are notable, because these particular sitcoms were released before, a few years ago. However, several seasons of those shows used the cut-down, edited, syndicated repeat versions of the episode prints, rather than the uncut network versions. And that is Roseanne, which is now finally getting the uncut network version, and Third Rock from the Sun, Season 1 and Season 2. So we're finally getting the uncut network, original network broadcast versions of those seasons, and best of all from Mill Creek, which means they'll be cheap as borscht. So, yeah. I do enjoy a good sitcom, so I'll probably pick those up at some point. And actually, honestly, I was wanting to pick up the Roseanne releases when they came up. The one thing that held me back was I did not want to get that version of Season 1 with the cut-down episodes. Now that they're complete and uncut, I will definitely be picking it up. Alrighty, well, I guess that's all the news that's fit to talk about for now. As I say, check out the Shout Factory boards if you want the latest on what's coming from them. Check out TV shows on DVD.com if you want the latest on what's coming from everybody. It's a great site. Yeah, and I guess that's about it. Next time, let's see, you're probably wondering when the heck are you going to do the Transformers Matrix set, Sean? I thought that was going to be today's noon video. Well, I'm working on it, okay? I needed a bit of a break after doing the last batch of Transformers videos because they just took forever to edit with all the cover scans and everything, as I'm sure you can imagine. Alrighty, so that's it from me to you for now. So until next time, thanks for watching, and sayonara. And don't worry, the next part of Transformers is coming. Sure my fly isn't undone this time. I did like 3 videos. with my fly wide open. Oops. Teenage Mutant... So again... So yeah, again, if you want your late... Yeah.